Hi everybody. I'm here to inform you of the most serious disease plaguing our society today. No, I'm not talking about bird flu or Ebola. I'm talking about something much more serious. Today, our biggest problem is materialism. Materialism is defined as considering your things, your material possessions, as more important than friends, family, and even your own values. You may be saying to yourself, there's no way I consider my stuff more important than my own friends and family. But from a deep analysis of our current social society structure, I can tell you that this is in fact the truth. But before we look at our current way of life, we must first go back and look at the rise of materialism in the United States. When did the American dream, which we've talked so much about, go from finding a place to come to start over to finding a place where you can get unlimited riches? Like most of things in America, the idea stemmed from Europe, with philosophers in the late 1600s such as René Descartes writing texts like "I think, therefore I am." These were texts that challenged the idea of God and promoted the idea of the self. These pushed people away from the conventional morals of worrying about sins, and with that, their morals fell, and what replaced them was material items. This fall of the church and belief in God isn't entirely what caused materialism, but it definitely laid some of the backbone into the shift mentally for society into the new way of life. With this philosophy changing us into more greedy people, all we really needed was the supplies. And boom, next thing you know, Industrial Revolution. We're now producing 3 times the amount of goods as we were before, and people are willing to pay, and they're willing to pay big. The idea of the brand name came along with this. The idea that if you don't have this name of stuff, the most expensive kind, then you're not buying the superior product. And fun fact for you, this actually started with guns. And it was Colt that kind of coined the idea of the brand name. Did you have the Colt revolver? It was the best thing to have at the time, and technically, it made you cool. So, with this, the rise of supply, the change of the mindset, we were ready for the craziest time in America's history. The Roaring Twenties. The Roaring Twenties, where women wore flapper hats and men made millions. This is also the rise of the mass use of the advertisement. The advertisement changed everything. Single companies could now corner the market. Ads pushed people into believing that if they didn't own a certain item, they were inferior to everyone else. With this, people became obsessed with their public image. If you weren't wearing certain clothes or you didn't own a certain thing, you weren't good in the public eye. So, because of this, people would take out money they didn't have from banks they didn't like in order to buy the goods they didn't want. And this is how materialism would strike its first tragedy. All this greed, all this obsession, it led directly to the Great Depression. The Great Depression came and went. So did World War II. And during this time, materialism kind of sat on the back burner because people didn't have the time or money to care about what they wore or what they looked like. With loved ones dying, it just wasn't a big concern. But, like any great trend, materialism was born to rise again. And what brought it back to life? The celebrity. The famous political figures, Hollywood actors, sports athletes. These are the people that brought it back. They started to see, oh, that athlete's wearing a certain shirt. Maybe if I wear that shirt, I'll be just as fast as him. And this is found continuously in today's society. Sponsorships started being handed out. And this is what brought materialism back. It brought back people worrying about their public image. The last piece of the puzzle missing to turn materialism into the massive plague it is today is the rise of the internet and social media. With unlimited access to everything at the palm of our fingers, all we have to do is look up any kind of material item. I could buy anything on Amazon I want right now. Credit cards, loans, all this enabled us to come into the materialistic society we live in today. Even if we break it down to the educational level, we're all raised to go to high school and to get a college degree. And why do we get a college degree? So that we could make more money. So that we could afford the nicer car, the bigger house, the vacation home. But for a lot of people, this isn't really the dream. This is just the corrupted, materialistic American dream that we now know and live in today's society. If this history still wasn't enough to convince you that you too are materialistic, then why don't we ask some of your fellow peers? My hard-hitting reporters went out to your school to get interviews, and here they are.
Hi, we're here with Ryan Tarantino, and he's going to define materialism for us.
Materialism is when you buy certain name brand clothing based on other people's opinions.
Thank you. Do you feel the need to buy things just to impress the people around you?
No, I really don't care what people around me think. I just rock what I want to wear, and this is how I live.
That's good. Very confident answer. Now let me ask you, do the endorsements of celebrities affect your decision to purchase certain goods?
Only a few celebrities like Kanye West. He's a very big influence on my fashion life.
So Kanye West is a huge influence on your style and the clothes that you wear?
Yeah, you could say that.
Do you feel that name brands affect your decision to purchase certain goods? In other words, do you gun for the name brand like Nike and Adidas over less popular brands such as New Balance?
I'm gonna tell you right here, I rock Louis Vuitton and Gucci. That's all I wear. Thank you.
Thank you.
John, how would you define materialism?
Say it's name brands and just buying expensive stuff.
Do you consider yourself a materialistic person?
I'd say so, yeah. I'd say so. Plays a factor.
Do you buy things to impress other people?
You know, sometimes, you want to look good, feel good, play good. Swag over comfort,
Do the endorsements of celebrities affect how you buy things?
Not usually.
Do name brands affect how you buy things?
I'd say so.
If you saw Ken Frisco crushing a meatloaf in a Nike shirt,
I'd also want to crush a meatloaf in a Nike shirt. You just want to be part of the norm.
Okay, John.
If those interviews weren't enough to convince you that you too are materialistic, here's a video of some celebrities being interviewed on what their thoughts of materialism is, and how the fame and wealth that they were given isn't really all they thought it would be cracked up to be.
When How I Met Your Mother first went on the air, I ran into an actress that I knew, and she said, "Are you just so happy all the time?"
Why am I unhappy? Okay, Stephanie Gaga hybrid person. Why are you unhappy? Why is it that you want to quit music?
And I remember thinking oh, that sitcom's coming. That sitcom, it's coming. And when I got it, I wouldn't say it was a depression, but you kind of go through a disappointment because that fame or that thing didn't satisfy the way you thought it was going to satisfy.
I had bought into the not uncommon notion that when I taste success, when I get over there, then I'll be happy. But the strangest thing happened. As the show got more successful, I got more depressed.
I thought it would be good to be rich and famous. It would be good to be the opposite of this. It would be good to have stuff. It'd be good to have money. It'd be good to be invited to the party. Well, I've been invited. I've been in. We're having this chat in a private Swish members club in East London. It's super cool. There's bare brick walls. Everyone's double good looking. But I've been inside now. I've seen the other side of the looking glass. It ain't fucking worth it. It's not good. It don't feed your soul. I still feel empty inside.
I had everything a man could want, even then. I was a millionaire. I had beautiful women in my life. I had cars, a house, an incredible, a solid gold career, and a future. And yet, on a daily basis, I wanted to commit suicide.
As a Beatle, we made it, and there was nothing to do. We had money, we had fame, and there was no joy.
The media told me every day, and it's telling you every day what it is to be successful. So you've got MTV Cribs, you've got billionaires in front of your face, you have these extrinsic, external goals that will say, oh, Tom Shadyac has arrived. He has the right house, the right car, he flies privately. And when I got there, it was empty.
I was successful in the music business, I was successful in modeling, in television, in real estate. So I made all this money and I had all this success. And here I was going, okay, I still don't feel any different.
We are told that if we're beautiful, if we're skinny, if we're successful, famous, if we fit in, if everyone loves us, that we'll be happy. But that's not entirely true.
I don't like wasting my time spending days just shaking people's hands and smiling, taking selfies. It feels shallow to my existence. I have a lot more to offer than my image. I don't like being used to make people money. I feel sad when I'm overworked and that I've just become a money-making machine and that my passion and my creativity take a back seat. That makes me unhappy.
If you are looking for fame to define you, then you will never be happy, and you will always be searching for happiness, and you will never find it in fame.
I was surrounded by all this wealth and all this fame and all this power, and yet they were all miserable, and I had never been more miserable.
You know, I thought that all would be helped and healed and soothed by fame.
Because when I get famous,
Then I will be less lonely, and I
Yes.
will be understood, and I will be loved, and that love will go in and heal any of the broken parts. And then I came to see that it was actually quite isolating.
The most important journey I think all of us will go through is the journey in ourselves, to find our truth, to find who we are and what makes us happy.
I saw that if I wanted to live with myself, I was going to have to work on myself.
So what did I do? I started to say no. I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. I'm not taking that picture. I'm not going to that event. I'm not standing by that because that's not what I stand for. And slowly but surely I remembered who I am. And then you go home and you look in the mirror and you're like, yes, I can go to bed with you every night. Because that person, I know that person. That person has balls. That person has integrity. That person has an opinion.
A lot of people, black, white, Mexican, young or old, fat or skinny, have a problem being true to themselves. They have a problem looking in the mirror and looking directly into their own souls. I can look directly into my face and find my soul. It's there. It's not sold. I didn't sell it. It's still within me. I still feel it. My heart is still connected to my body.
I stopped doing what I had always been doing, which was the go, 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 pursue, pursue, pursue. And I sat still and listened to that inner voice and said, okay, well, what do you want to do? What do you want to create? What do you want your life to mean?
All we need is to feel valued and feel loved by the people around us, and to be doing something that makes us feel alive, whether that's creating something, it's art, it's beautiful, making a change, making a difference. Everything else, social approval and all this excess money.
There's too much money here. I mean, nobody should be hitting lotto for 36 million and we got people starving in the streets. That is not idealistic, that's just real. That is just stupid. There's no way Michael Jackson should have, or whoever Jackson, should have $1,000,000 billion and then there's people starving. There's no way.
I would prefer a culture that didn't celebrate, exacerbate, stimulate the most negative aspects of our species, inculcate them, reward them financially, till we get to a kind of a cultural hysteria where we're destroying the planet.
I don't believe we're these miserable animals wired to maximize self-interest. I think that actually goes against our nature and causes us a lot of pain.
Darwin mentioned the word love 95 times in The Descent of Man. He mentioned survival of the fittest twice. I went through 50 years of my life on Earth before I heard that. That's insane. And I believe it comes from a culture that is humming on an insane philosophy. Got to keep everybody separate. We got to compete against each other. We got to, whoever gets the winner gets the toys and the spoils. I believe you guys are in a culture that is depressing your authenticity, your creativity. It's pitting you against each other, and it's up to you guys to birth a new culture. So, yes, it is your world, folks. It is your world coming.
So, there's one big question left. Is materialism a problem that can be solved? And after the countless hours of research I've done on the subject, the deep analysis of the history, the roots of it, I've come up with one answer. There is no solution. Materialism is so deeply embedded in our culture, our society, and our history that there's nothing we could do. We're going to continue to go out and buy the name brands, waste money we don't have to, because we think these products are better than they really are, to impress people we don't care about. Maybe if you have an idea, bring it to me. Present it. Show me what it is. Because as far as I can tell, there is no solution. This problem has just become another thing in society we've learned to accept. And for some of us, it shapes who we are. Maybe it's not even all that big of a problem. For some of it, it's a drive. It's the reason to keep pushing, to try to get a promotion at work, to reach for higher goals because they want that faster car. It's so embedded in our lifestyle that I don't think it's something we'll ever get rid of. Thanks. Have a good afternoon.
That might just be fucking.